What's up, guys? Mike here. Welcome to another blog Sunday, and hope you are all well. Gonna get straight into it this week, but check out all my stuff across all my platforms. Link in the description to this podcast. This week's blog is called Why You Don't Need to Wait for Permission to Express Yourself Creatively. Enjoy! Recently, I've had a few conversations with people about creativity as a muscle that needs to be worked. I've been exploring this idea with a few friends, and I think it's become so clear to me that creativity is an outlet for emotion and feeling to be expressed. I just finished reading Brian Eno's book, What Art Does, and I found it really fascinating. Eno, who is one of my favorite artists, writes about how art is a universal language of expression and helps us to explore, share, and experience emotions that otherwise may not come up in our everyday lives. A lot of people I meet with and speak to ask me about how to start their creative journey and begin making something for themselves. They clearly have a creative spirit, but they may not have found an outlet to begin. The problem with a lot of us, in my opinion, is that we are waiting for permission to start. The solution to that is to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for somebody to ask you to be creative and start being creative. I've written extensively in the past about how I try to stop caring about numbers when it comes to creativity, and I still catch myself doing it sometimes, to be transparent. And I've also explained my approach to DIY content creation and creative expression. I'm a bit punk rock. And I have some new thoughts I wanted to share this week. Looking back to my teenage years at high school, I remember feeling so creatively jilted. I went to a school that was particularly sports focused and less focused on arts and creative expression. During this time, I remember feeling lost and depressed. I had so much creative energy, but I didn't have anywhere to use it. Fast forward to my early 20s and university days, and it was the same problem. I didn't have any kind of outlet to be creative, and I was waiting for someone, I don't even know who, to tell me to start. Early in my radio career, I started working on a development radio show at Triple M called Luke and Lewis, where I met comedians Luke Kidgell and Lewis Spears. Even at this point, both of them were the complete opposite to me. They were guys my age who were just being creative. They'd never waited for permission. They just started making stuff by themselves and had fostered an audience through that. I learned a lot working with those guys because it made me realize and understand that waiting for permission to begin being creative is the perfect recipe to feeling unfulfilled and depressed. I find that creativity has other ways of finding its way out of you if you don't foster it. Unexpressed creativity manifests itself in anger, disdain, apathy, and anhedonia. I believe it's because your body and brain don't know how to manage the build-up of lingering creative energy, and it brews resentment. In the Harry Potter spin-off movies, Fantastic Beasts, the concept of an obscurus is introduced. I really like this idea and wanted to share the concept because I love blending pop culture analogies into my work. The obscurus is a dark and uncontrollable force that emerges when young witches and wizards suppress their magic. When magic is suppressed and not able to be used, the obscurus becomes a destructive and overwhelming power that consumes the individual. Honestly, I think this is a perfect analogy for unrealized creativity. Magic, in this analogy, is creativity. As I've said over the years to longtime followers of my work, the more uniquely myself I was, and the more I genuinely expressed my inner creativity, the happier and more content with my life I became. A lot of creatives think they need the backing of some big business or entity to fund and support their creative dreams, but that has never been further from the truth. Perhaps 25 years ago, when the media industry was so much more controlled by these entities, that may have been true. But in 2025, creativity is free for everybody. Make use of the tools available to you to express yourself as freely as you can, and be consistent. That is the key to success in creative expression. Numbers, likes, followers, and views will never make you happy. Only true, genuine creative expression and a love of being creative will bring you happiness. Because creativity to me is an expression of the soul. Keep showing up for yourself and your creativity, because if you don't, you'll feel it and you'll harbor an obscurus. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Hope you got something out of that. I really enjoyed writing that. And sorry, I was a bit short at the top because I'm just really busy and I'm about to go out to dinner with my family, which is going to be very, very fun. But yeah, check out all my stuff. I did a review of Superman and a bunch of other stuff that I've been into. And over on the written version of the blog over on Substack, there is a separate segment called Resonance, which is 4 recommendations each week of something that I was into or enjoyed watching, reading, playing, listening to, etc., etc. So please go and check that out. Thank you so much, guys. I will be back next week with another one of these. But for now, my name's In Radio Mike, and this has been The Inside of My Mind. I'll catch you later.